Hey everybody, this is Kyle O'Donnell with eXp Realty, and every now and again I come across folks that want to become a first-time homeowner and maybe they just don't understand how to go about the process of purchasing a home, saving up money, things like that. So today I wanted to talk about step-by-step path to obtain home ownership within a 2-year time frame. And becoming a homeowner is an exciting milestone, but it can definitely require some careful planning and preparation. So by starting early, you could set yourself up for success and avoid some necessary stress down the road. To start on your 2-year path to home ownership, we're going to begin in year 1 by laying the foundation. And the starting point here is you talking to a local realtor and lender to discuss your goals for home ownership. A great realtor is an invaluable resource on your path to home ownership, even if you're a couple years away, as they have a great network of vendor partners that they can refer to you. And one of the essential vendor partners that a realtor will share with you is a great local reputable mortgage lender. Also known as loan officers, these mortgage lenders will help you in creating a path and getting your finances ready in order for you to purchase your new home. Now, first things first is you're gonna need to review your credit score. Now, ideally, a credit score somewhere around 620 is a great starting point for most mortgages, but for other types of loans, such as FHA loans, somewhere in the mid 500s, 580 can also work. So to start here, a credit score is vital for getting approved for a mortgage. The second thing you're gonna need to work on here is reducing your debt. Now, for most mortgages, loan officers gonna wanna see a debt to income ratio of less than 43%. So if you're less than 43%, you should be well on your way there, but if it's a little bit higher, then let's work on lowering that. Another helpful thing to do here is to track your spending. Now you can start by creating a budget and identifying areas where you could save. Now budgeting apps like Rocket Money, Mint, or a simple Excel spreadsheet that tracks your finances can be helpful tools to keep you on the right path towards home ownership. So now that you've started your budget, you're gonna need to create a savings plan. And you're gonna need a target savings plan to save for things like your down payment, your closing costs, and any emergency fund or living expenses down the road. So now for your down payment, typically you'll wanna save about 3 to 20% of the purchase price that'll go towards the down payment when you purchase the home. There are other options though. There's some 100% financing options with local lenders that I work with as well. But ideally the 3% to 20% down payment is a good idea to save for when you're going to purchase your home. Another item to save for is the closing costs. Typically, you're looking at about 2 to 5% of the purchase price going towards closing costs when you close on your home. So that's another thing to take into consideration in your savings plan. Now, while you're saving up for your down payment and your closing costs, you're not gonna wanna neglect your emergency fund. So ideally, you'd like to save 3 to 6 months of living expenses to go towards your emergency fund. Now, with all the savings that you're doing, you're gonna want to open up a dedicated savings account. Now, ideally, something that has automatic transfers, maybe from your direct deposit, where it's going into the savings account consistently is super helpful. And in some instances, there are certain banks that have buckets. Even when some of that money is going towards the savings account, it goes towards a certain bucket, like for saving for a car, saving for a home, things like that. So anything that you could get money automatically transferred into that savings account so that you're consistently building up that savings to go towards the purchase of your home is super helpful. So now that you're reducing your debt and increasing your savings to get your finances in order, now's the time to start researching the housing market to get a feel for where you want to purchase your next home. To begin, you're going to want to start by exploring neighborhoods and identifying areas where you would like to live based on factors that are important to you. Now, these can be based on school zones, commute times to where you work, or local amenities that the neighborhood has to offer. Sky's the limit. It really depends on what you're looking for. Now, the second thing here is to monitor prices and get a sense of the typical prices of homes in your desired areas to help you set realistic expectations. Now, this is where your local realtor can really help you. Since they're in these neighborhoods constantly, they know the prices of the homes that are selling in this neighborhood, and they know the features that are offered and the amenities that are offered in the neighborhood. So they could give you a little bit more data than a simple internet search can and help push you further along in the path towards your home ownership. Now, another option in the first year of your 2-year plan towards home ownership is to further educate yourself on home ownership. Now, what this education may look like is attending home buyer education courses, home buyer seminars, going to lender workshops to learn more about mortgage options. But what I would really recommend, since you're in touch with your local lender and your real estate agent, is to just lean on them and ask as many questions as possible. Anytime a question comes up, feel free to reach out to them, and they should be able to answer the questions that you have in the first year. That way, once the second year comes around, you could take action and you are informed. So to recap, in your first year, you assessed your financial situation, you created a savings plan, you researched your local market, and you educated yourself on home ownership. So now that year 2 and your 2-year plan has rolled along and it's time to take action, you're gonna wanna start by strengthening your finances. So you're gonna wanna start by boosting your savings to continue building for your down payment. Now you consider cutting non-essential expenses and maybe taking on extra work to accelerate your savings here. So another thing you're gonna wanna do here is avoid taking on new debt. So consider holding off on any large purchases or taking out new lines of credit. And as always, review your budget and adjust as needed for your new accelerated savings here. Next, you're gonna wanna apply for a mortgage and get pre-approved. So you can start this by gathering documentation. The lender's gonna likely wanna see some tax returns, W-2s, income statements, things of that nature. Ultimately, your lender's gonna be the one that will know exactly what kind of documentation they need, and they'll be able to guide you on what documents that you will need to provide them in order to get your pre-approval during the mortgage application phase. Next is to shop around to compare mortgage lenders with rates and terms that fit best for you and your family. Now, while there is value in working with a great local reputable lender, make them work for you in order to find the best terms and rates that work for you and your family when you're purchasing your next home. Additionally, you're gonna wanna understand your buying power. Now, getting a pre-approval letter for a mortgage will give you a pretty clear idea of how much you could afford for your next home, but also feel free to reach out to your lender and see if they could give you a conditional approval letter to give you even more of an idea to help you understand how much house you can afford. And this can potentially strengthen your offer when you're submitting offers with the pre-approval letter or the conditional approval letter on your next home. Now, to start the house shopping phase with your real estate agent, you've likely already been put on a search alert for homes in your desired area. Now, if anything changed, now's the time to tweak this search alert so you know all the houses in your desired area and price point that are coming onto the market. Now, since you've likely been looking at homes online for quite some time, now is the fun part where you get to actually attend open houses or private showings with your real estate agent to get a better feel for the homes in your desired area and price point. Now, I always recommend buyers to tour resale homes and new construction homes so that they can get a wider understanding of what's out there on the market, what fits best for them, and to give them a better idea of what they're looking for in their next home. Now, the last step here in the home shopping process is to be patient. Finding the right home can take time, so don't rush the process. Depending on the market, there may be instances where your offer isn't accepted the first time. Don't worry, there's another opportunity out there that's going to fit just right for you. Now, once you've found your new home and gotten your offer accepted, there are a few more things to take into consideration to help you prepare for closing. Now, the first step in the process here is to schedule a home inspection as soon as possible once your offer is accepted. Now, this will help to assess the property's condition and to determine if you want to move forward with the purchase of your home. Essentially, this is where you're doing your due diligence to make certain that you want to move forward with purchasing this home. Another step here is securing your home insurance. Now, typically, if you're taking out a loan on the home, the lender is going to require that you have homeowners insurance. So you're going to want to get that locked down. If you are unsure of who to go to get homeowners insurance, feel free to reach out to your lender. They may have a few options for insurance agents that could help you out with securing homeowners insurance, but ultimately you have the option to choose whoever you would like when it comes to getting your homeowners insurance. Another step here is to review your budget and account for any utilities, moving costs, or any potential repairs that you want to make to the home once you move in. Now, you don't want to leave any of this out here, so it's always good to have a little bit of cushion in your budget, so that way you have a little bit of money saved up. So once you move into the home, you'll have the money for the utilities, moving costs, potential repairs, and anything else that you want to do to the home. Now, the final step here is to attend closing. Now, your local title company rep and your loan officer will be able to give you the cash to close dollar amount that you'll need to bring to closing, typically in a cashier's check or a wire transfer. So once you attend closing, usually shortly after, they'll fund the transaction and you'll get the keys to your new home. And congratulations, you are now a homeowner. By following this 2-year plan, you'll be well prepared to purchase your next home with confidence. If you have any questions about the home buying process or anything else real estate related, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to help you however I can.